Everybody, I decided I was going to kind of redo a video simply because it was really old. I tried to do my eyeliner nice for this video, but I wound up taking it all off because it looked really bad. And this video is going to be a pretty touchy subject, but it's the story of when I got pregnant with my daughter a while ago, 3.5 years ago, actually more like 4 years ago when I found out. Anyway, I told my mom, well actually I didn't tell my mom. Here's what happened. I was going to one of the free clinics and a police officer, I stopped at the fire department, told them what was going on, and asked them to direct me in the right direction. The police officer told me that they'd take me there. They didn't take me there. They took me down to the station, told them what was going on. They made a police report, called my mom, and told her that I was pregnant. Obviously, it was not the greatest situation of all time, but anyway, at that point, my mom took me over to my best friend Jessica's house and had me scheduled an appointment for the next day. And she bought me an at-home pregnancy test, which I had already taken a bunch of them and knew that I was pregnant. I was at my friend Laura Lee's house when I found out that I was pregnant, and then went to the jail. They took me to the jail there and made a report. I wasn't a bad kid or anything like that, but when I got to my friend Jessica's house, she made me take another test, and the test came back positive, and I had already taken probably 10 pregnancy tests. I knew that I was pregnant. I didn't need another test to tell me so. Anyway, she's like, you better start thinking about what you're gonna do. Understandable. We went to the doctor the very next day, and they did an ultrasound. I didn't want my mom to be in the room for the ultrasound. I felt very violated because they have to do a vaginal ultrasound, and I wanted her to leave. She told me that she wouldn't leave, so, and they didn't even I don't even know if I can't even remember if they gave me a pregnancy test or if they just did the ultrasound. And they told me that I was between 4 and 5 weeks, and that there was no heartbeat at that point in time. And I told her, she told me that I should try, go for an abortion, and I said, that's not really something I want to do. Mind you, this was at St. Alexian Brothers, a Catholic hospital. Pretty sure that that's not something you're supposed to do when you work for a Catholic hospital. I'm pretty sure you'd get fired for something like that. Anyhow. And instead of listening to me, she proceeded to give my mom the phone number for this abortion clinic. And then my mom got in the car and she's like, Autumn, I'm like, don't even, I knew she was going to tell me, to get an abortion. And I'm like, no, that's just not going to happen. And instead of being supportive, my mom kicked me out of the house. I wouldn't get one, so my mom threw me out of the house. And pretty much had a whole bunch of people talk to me that I didn't even know to tell me that taking what she called the late morning after pill, which is the pill that you take and it makes you miscarry, told me that that was not an abortion. I don't care what your stance is, pro-life or pro-choice, I don't care. When you take the abortion pill, it's still an abortion. You are pregnant and you're getting rid of it. So if you guys watched my previous video when I was talking about the morning after pill, I was already pregnant. My mom was just trying to call it the morning after pill. And then my family got involved, and my mom said, this is how much rent costs, this is how much a baby costs, yada yada yada, and basically said, she never directly said you can't come home, but that's kind of what I got out of that. So I stayed with my aunt for, I want to say Well, after that incident, she tried to, because I didn't want to get the abortion, and the guy I was with at the time was 18. And my mom grabbed me and she said, come on, we're going to go down to the police station. My Aunt Sarah jumped in between and pulled me away and yelled at my mom, told me that like it took two to tango. That was a very traumatic thing for me because I didn't know what to do. Like, obviously I did not want him to go to jail, but I wasn't going to sacrifice my child. I was very emotionally corrupt at that point. Like, those are marks from where I used to self-harm myself, and I'll make a whole nother video about that at some point in time if you guys want me to. But I was very emotionally disturbed at that point in my life. Like, had I actually gone through with that abortion, and this is why I have a lot of resentment, or held a lot of resentment towards my mother, and we had so many problems, was because, at that point, was because, you know, had I actually gone through and had that abortion, I probably would have killed myself. Like, I would have not been able to live with myself. So next time you say, oh, we should make girls, you know, who are pregnant young get abortions, think about that they may end their own life because they were forced to do something like that. Think about that if you're a mother watching this child and your daughter is pregnant. So I don't resent my mom anymore. She has since apologized for that whole entire incident. I love my mom, but I'm just sharing my story. Like, anyway, I wish that I handled the situation differently. Like, honestly, instead of having the police officers tell my mom that I was pregnant, I probably should have been the one to do it, but I was too scared to go out there and say something, so instead I had them do it. If I could go back and change that, I definitely would, because I think my mom would have had a little bit more respect for me had I been the one to say something versus, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna make a whole series on this channel where I post at least once a week about this topic, because, you know, there's so many pieces to the story that you guys don't have because I didn't continue filming. I kind of crawled into, like, I was kind of happy when I started filming on YouTube, and then I kind of crawled into a hole for a long period of time because of everything that was going on. So my next video, I'm going to talk about the first trimester-ish of my pregnancy. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for my next video. I actually think that I'm going to post 2 videos Monday night, and that's going to be about my the pregnancy that I had before my daughter. I know that probably surprises a lot of people, but I'm going to share a miscarriage story, which kind of makes me uncomfortable because my mom will probably be able to see it, and she actually doesn't really know about this. So I will share that with you guys, and then I'll talk about the first trimester of my pregnancy. So I hope that this video was informative for somebody out there, but I was just trying to share my story with the world. So yeah.